Hey, happy Friday. I wanted to get into a little bit of video action because there's been a lot going on, at least here in the US, over the past couple of weeks with our national conventions. And one thing that I found for myself, especially last week, is that I have been funneling a lot of my energy towards fighting those things that I don't want to experience. So I don't want a leader of our country that I perceive as closed-minded, extremist, unprepared for the position. I don't want a leader who attacks others, who not only excludes others, but viciously excludes others, who operates without any sort of moral compass. All of these things that I'm trying to avoid. And so I've been posting a lot, speaking to those things, talking about how, I'm trying to fight this person, and I'll be specific, it's Donald Trump. I don't support what he stands for, even as, God bless, the man has really helped me see those aspects of myself that perhaps I'm blaming him for. And so he really has served me in just becoming more self-aware. And yet I've noticed this ongoing focus within myself and certainly within others to really focus on what we're trying to avoid. And the thing is that the way that energy works is, even if you're saying that you don't want to experience it, you are putting your energy towards whatever thing you're focusing on. So if I'm saying I don't want Donald Trump to be president, I'm still thinking Trump, Trump, Trump every second of the day. My energy is going there. And I decided that it's time to switch into a new gear. And that is to focus on what I'm moving towards. And yes, while I am a Hillary supporter, I'm not speaking specifically to the form of Hillary Clinton. I think really what all of us are being asked to do in this moment and in our lives in general is to get a little clearer on what we want to move towards, to be intentional about what we want to call in our lives. And it's so easy to fall into that trap of running from what we want to avoid, whether it's avoiding pain and suffering, avoiding scarcity, avoiding a sense of worthlessness. There's a lot that keeps us in that state of running from that pain, that discomfort. And we end up spending a lot of time there. And what ends up happening sometimes is that we actually call in those very things that we're wanting to not experience. And I found that as I've become a little more practiced in focusing on what I want to experience, on what I want to call in, that all that goodness is actually starting to show up in my life. And by that I don't mean a specific form. It's not, oh, I want this car outside, or I want this amount of money in my bank. That you're more than welcome to play with that. It's more, what are the feeling states that I want to experience? What's my overall experience that I want to have? What's the quality of the experience that I want to have? And for me, it's really important to have ease and grace. It's really important to live my life with a certain amount of integrity. I really want joy. I really want to experience a daily sense of gratitude and appreciation for what is. I would really love to feel open and connected to others, to feel a sense of belonging, to live from a place of love. And the more that I focus on those things that I'm wanting to call in, it happens. And yet, even as I know that on a very personal day-to-day level, I've completely forgotten about it when it comes to how things are operating on a national or even international scale. And certainly with the emotion that comes with our election, and there's a lot of fear there about where we're going, there's a lot of uncertainty, it can get very easy, or can be very easy, to fall back into that old story of, oh God, I don't want that. Or those people are going to cause this awful thing to happen. And I think if all of us are maybe to spend some more time on what we actually want to experience, how we actually want to feel, form aside, specific solutions aside, though I understand that those are very real practicalities, we probably have a lot more in common than we realize. And so for me, what I'm realizing is that I want to own my participation in the commons, so to speak, in our social contract, that is the United States of America. I want to engage as a person of integrity who's open, who's accepting. I want to, as much as possible, come from a place of love and understanding and empathy. I want to embrace openness and inclusiveness and learning and growth, because there are places where I'm still very ignorant. There's no question about it. There are places where I'm still totally blind. And so I'm really wanting to educate myself, to become more aware, to open my eyes, and to be more of a participant in raising all of us together. So those are things that I'm wanting to call forward. And I'm wanting to be a leader in my own life and to understand that maybe what's happening right here is a call for each and every one of us to be leaders not only in our own lives, but in what we want to experience on a national level. And I think that for so long, many of us, I think, have felt disconnected from the powers that be on a national level. Certainly, we have the ability to vote, and yet there's this sense that our one vote doesn't really hold much sway. I mean, intellectually we can grasp it, but we really aren't thinking the energy that I put out into the world really makes that much of a difference. And what I'm starting to realize is it does. And when we think that one leader is going to come along and be perfect, when we think that one leader is going to be the savior, the knight, or the warrior queen in shining armor, we are actually disempowering ourselves and our ability to be our own leaders in this world. So what I am seeing for myself is a need to move towards the intentions that I want to experience, and to also understand that the way those play out in 3D form, sometimes it takes on a form that I don't really understand and I don't really know. And I'm open to that. I'm open to the uncertainty. I'm open to these things being in flux. And in the midst of that, really trying to own what I can own within my own experience. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think each of us is being called to own our part in the commons, and to understand that no one person is going to be responsible for saving all of us, that each and every one of us is. And perhaps that is kind of redundant given some of the language from the past few days at the DNC, but I think there is ultimate truth to it. And we all have a choice, we all have free will. There are things that happen that come at us, and in the midst of that, we choose how we take it in, how we experience it. And so I'm going to really try to focus on what I'm moving towards from here on out. And I would really love to have conversations with any of you who are also really wanting to welcome in a new level of personal accountability, of leadership, who are wanting to grow and to learn for themselves, to reimagine what this contract is, to reimagine how we engage in the commons, and to really come together in support of others who want to do that work. And to understand that if other people don't want to do that work, that's their truth. That doesn't mean that we focus any less on what we are trying to bring into creation. So I'll leave it at that. Feel free to PM me or message me or comment below, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.